Hey guys, welcome to the Trash Picture Show. I am just back from seeing Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and let me tell you, I thoroughly enjoyed it. And it's no surprise because I adore Sam Raimi. Yes, Sam Raimi is back directing a Marvel movie, and if you are a fan of Sam, like me, you love The Evil Dead, you love Spider-Man, you're going to thoroughly enjoy this. There is a lot of winks and nods to the likes of Evil Dead and even Spider-Man. There's a lot of the classic kind of crash zooms and Dutch angles and a lot of stuff you see in Raimi's early work incorporated into this to kind of elevate it into the old kind of slapstick, splatstick horror from the early 80s. But I digress. Moving on. The story centers around Doctor Strange having to help a young girl by the name of America Chavez, who is being pursued through the multiverse by unknown forces. It then transpires that this unknown force is actually Wanda Maximoff, aka the Scarlet Witch. She wants to take America Chavez's powers to find her kids, who she created in one division in another universe. So yeah, is the plot any good? Yes, incredibly entertaining. It's pretty cool to see the different multiverses, particularly the universe where Strange meets the Illuminati. I'm not going to give away who some of the Illuminati are. There's been trailers that have kind of hinted that. I don't want to spoil it for you. I'm not going to go into big spoilers with this review, but it is entertaining and it's pretty cool. If you're a Marvel fan, you're going to be totally geeking out. Cast-wise, the cast is pretty solid. Benedict Cumberbatch gives a very, very solid performance as Stephen Strange. You get a bit more empathy with the character this time, and you get to know a bit more about the character. America Chavez is a really interesting and engaging character and incredibly likable, which totally justifies, and you can see why Strange and One come to this young girl's age. You do want to see this character survive and be protected, and I'm interested to see where she goes in future Marvel movies. But the standout performance for this movie is Elizabeth Olsen as Wanda Maximoff, aka the Scarlet Witch. If if you haven't seen What If already, you might be at a bit of a disadvantage, and that's one of the cons I think this movie has, and I'll get to that later. But you get so much pathos with her, but also Raimi manages to turn the Scarlet Witch, Wanda Maximoff, into the equivalent of a slasher villain. She is going to cut right through you to get what she wants, and she wants America Chavez. And Olsen's physicality is fantastic. It's phenomenal. There's a scene where she's chasing Strange and Chavez in a tunnel underneath a river, and she's like a deadite in her movements. Again, a nice throwback to Evil Dead. She's almost zombie-like in her movements, trying to get America Chavez. And Olsen does a fantastic performance, but also balances it with an incredibly kind of sympathetic performance as well. She's kind of doing double duty in this. You got a lot of double duty in this movie. The cons, as I said before, I do think this movie is a bit handicapped by the fact that you have to have seen some of the Marvel TV shows, such as WandaVision and What If. And I don't think a standalone movie, should ever have a proviso of you having to see a TV show in order to know what the fuck is going on. I think that's incredibly unfair, and it's setting a bad precedent where it's like, well, if you want to know what's going on in the next Marvel movie, you got to buy Disney Plus. I do not like that. I have issue with that. The other issue I have, while it was cool, I do think that the Illuminati, it's a cool idea. I think they were put in there because ever since Endgame, the ante has to be upped with all the Marvel movies. Again, with Spider-Man No Way Home, the inclusion of all the characters from the other Spider-Man movies, I think you can't just have a regular standalone Marvel movie anymore. You have to have characters from other movies coming in, or throwbacks to other franchises coming in to try and bolster the credibility of the movie. And I think you can only kind of get away with that and get by on that for so long. So I do think that Marvel does need to try and realize that they can't be relying on fan service the whole time to try and kind of bolster the popularity of the movie. Any other criticisms to cite? Actually, there is one more, and a friend of mine pointed out the score by Danny Elfman. I love Danny Elfman. Great composer. Done a fantastic score for Batman. Obviously, did the Spider-Man movies, if I'm not mistaken. Hence why Raimi probably had him on again. I think he was kind of phoning it in. Bar one scene, there's a duel between Strange and an evil doppelganger that I think was interesting. But by and large, the soundtrack is very kind of recycled. But I digress. It's a fun movie. It's a great movie. If you haven't seen it, I think you should check it out. If you're a Marvel fan, check it out. Again, I think anyone who hasn't seen the TV shows WandaVision and What If will be at a disadvantage. That's the major con with this. But if you have, go check it out. And if you're a Sam Raimi fan, I think you're going to highly enjoy this movie. So have you seen this movie? What did you think? Let me know in the comments below. And yeah, have a good one. Take care. Bye now.